Hi guys, happy Saturday. I hope everyone had a lovely Friday night and has a gorgeous day today. Okay, we've got a very interesting reading. Since I've started to do the Lenormand spread, it's really coming out as though it is like a very fluid kind of like narrative that we're following along. So this is very interesting. I think I started to just read the Lenormand maybe like in the last 3 readings, so pick up from there. Again, we've got so many of the same elements, such as kind of like moving, traveling, a lot of luck around contracts, call to be wise. But it seems as though the center point for this reading, am I getting that I'm following, this is from like today up until like the next 2 or 3 weeks. So mainly just tension or restriction around the house, around like the household. So whether this is something to do with kind of like where you live restricting you, or kind of like if you live with someone, the people that you live with being quite like restrictive, a bit full of kind of like tension. So if you live with people, this could be kind of like arguments and tension or restriction around that kind of dynamic. Or if you live alone, but this could also be if you live with people, that there is some kind of like restriction in terms of like your life around where you live. And I feel that it just wants me to make you aware of that, okay? Just to have some kind of like wisdom around the effects of the house or the place that you live. Also like restricting through comfort zones as well. So it's definitely a call to kind of like really keep on stretching yourself daily, okay? Really keep on stretching yourself daily, keep pushing out of your comfort zone. I'm definitely getting that that's something that you need to follow, or will get a lot out of following. There's a lot of energy here around kind of like fate, destiny, the unknown, but to follow that. So the card that you're coming out is the Tower, but in the Lenormand, this is like one of the best cards. I mean, it is in the Rider-Waite as well, but it doesn't mean the same thing. So the Tower is always something that can be trusted, so you know that you can trust yourself, okay? There's so much protective energy around you, but just like you really protecting yourself also, but in a very good way. Something that I'm getting is kind of like home is just wherever you are, okay? So you can really trust that. And I don't think I even need to tell you that. I think you know, like you feel strong in yourself. But the energy that I'm getting when I'm saying like home is wherever you are is when it comes to kind of like traveling, I really see just a picture of you, even just with like a small bag, or just like living out of a suitcase and being able to like go to a lot of different places, okay? If kind of like if the thing that's stopping you maybe from like moving is the fact that like, oh my God, I've got all of this stuff, like how am I gonna, move with kind of like all of this weight? I get the sense that like you're not going to, or work or like opportunity or invitation is going to bring you into this rhythm of kind of like trips, or kind of like living away or doing like stints for like a month, couple of months at a time, okay, just to kind of get you into the swing of travel. And what else we've got a lot of luck around contracts, okay? Someone bringing you into business offers, job offers, a lot of luck around that, especially one specific kind of like option that you end up taking as well. We'll get some more specifics on this. There's definitely one contract out of all of the rest of them, not only that you can trust, but that has like a lot of longevity. Something that I'm seeing here is either like people from this company or someone that wants to invest in you. Obviously just take it where it resonates. If you are like an employee, then it's going to be like a company that wants to invest and grow you, or if you kind of like work for yourself or you're freelance or anything like that, it's going to be like a person that wants to invest in you. And this came out in the last reading as well. So yeah, there's definitely a call to be really wise in terms of contracts, and just be very kind of like abundant minded when it comes to contracts, aka always believe now and understand that like there's more to come. Always, if there's one thing, then there's potential for many more things. It's kind of like if someone's offering you £10,000 for something, just know that you can get 15 somewhere else, okay? So yeah, something that was coming through just then is kind of like repositioning. If you are starting a new venture in terms of like work or career, or even like yourself, okay, there's something coming here about branding, and we can take so much, because I do hate like optimization and things like that, because it kind of like takes the magic away from things that are very like sacred. And I think if you work in, if the work that you produce in is very personal, the kind of like optimization of that can just feel so like icky, I think. But and it's not telling you to like optimize the work, but in terms of like branding, there's a lot that we can learn in terms of like branding ourselves. Okay, so still being like very authentic, but understanding a lot more of the kind of like relational dynamics. So this feels like it's coming through to me in terms of a new venture that you are going down. And it's mainly just a call really for like excitement around really sitting there and thinking, okay, like, how big do I want this to be? How big do I want to be? Like, it's a real kind of like, yeah, call to sit and think, okay, how big do we want to go? And then kind of like preparing for that and like maladaptive daydreaming around that. So I really love that. But yeah, the major elements here are, yes, there are restrictions around where you live. In terms of like expanding your life, that is going to be abroad, further afield. Unless you live in a country that's like very good for whatever you want to do, then that's the only exception. But apart from that, it very much is going to be outside. I'm getting community overseas as well. Let's get an oracle card. Consultant expert, more information is needed. Contact someone with expertise in this area. Let's get a moonology to go along with that. What do you need to release the waning moon? More information is needed. Contact someone with expertise in this area. Something that it mildly could be pointing to as well is that there is maybe just like a little bit of blockages in terms of, not blockages actually, I think because your understanding of something that you might be moving into is a little bit restricted purely just on like a knowledge and experience basis. It's obviously going to be very kind of like fundamental to you that you are able to speak to people within like whatever field. Or I'm just thinking, am I getting like one particular person or something that it's telling me like a big call to like network, even on social media, okay, even on like TikTok pages and stuff like that, of people that you see, like asking people questions. How did you do this? Like, really get stuck in with that. And what do you need to release? Okay, this just feels like quite a singular question, so just a call. What do you need to release in order to be carrying less of kind of like the past into this next portion of your life? Okay, so start practicing not having that now. Okay, we've got the King of Cups in reverse and we've got the Seven of Swords. This feels like a separate situation, so should we do a separate reading? Okay, I'm not going to take any of these in reverse. Let's just get some upright cards for this reading and then we'll make this one a separate reading. Okay, so we've got the moon. Okay, the moon. So the moon is coming up a lot. There's definitely a call to really be harmonized and like synthesized with your emotions. It's not the full moon, so it's not like the depths of the emotions, but also kind of like, what are you not acknowledging? What part of yourself are you kind of like not abandoning but putting to the side? What part of yourself are you ignoring? Okay, actually tell us, what part of you are you ignoring or wants to be seen? What part of you wants to be seen? That makes a lot more sense. What part of you wants to be seen? I feel like there's a calling. Check whatever sign you've got in your 12th house as well. Okay, so it's like if you've got Leo in your 12th house, the performative, like storyteller, kind of like theatrical, you know, being like on camera, being seen, like the sun wants to shine. Okay, but it's in the 12th house, so it's like what energy is in the 12th house, like that is the part that wants to be seen. So definitely have a good look at that. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, is this all feeding into one? Nine of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. So you've got Cancer and Virgo energy. Give us some, do you know what, let's get an oracle card on the Hanged Man. Okay, so definitely very independent at the moment. I'm definitely speaking to someone who is single. If you're not single, then you both lead quite independent lives. Okay, give us a clarification on the Hanged Man and the Nine of Pentacles. Step out of your comfort zone, like I was saying. Okay, like I was saying before, and this is North Node, okay? So obviously have a look at your North Node, okay? If you don't know much about the North Node, so the North Node is basically like the North Star. And if we look at what sign that's in, and what house that's in, that is, so the sign is the qualities that we need to embody to kind of like be on our movement in our like highest direction, and the house that it's in is the kind of like space within which we need to focus that energy. Okay, mine's in the 4th house, so I just really don't understand that. Community, actually. Hi. Okay, cool. Scorpio North Node in the 4th house. I actually feel like I'm doing that right now, aren't I? Period. Okay, anyway, so yeah, definitely look at that. So yes, definitely start acting like your North Node, okay? If it's in Leo, go out, be seen. If it's Pisces, take some time to be like very dreamy and kind of like fill up your creative cup and like speak to other dreamy people about ideas. And there's so much coming through to do with like networking, okay? Networking, starting communities left, right and center, getting stuck into communities. Community is definitely something that you need. I think community and other people and being inspired by other people as well will get you out of your comfort zone or stretch those boundaries. Something that I always say to myself, like my little mantra, is I do not seek fulfillment, I only seek expansion, okay? So that basically stops us from kind of like giving a lot of energy to just short fire things that are not kind of like a brick in our bridge of, you know, the kind of the place that we want to be in our expansive world, okay? Helps kind of like keep me on track. Expect powerful change. Exactly. It's like all of this change and everything is coming to you anyway, but it's kind of like you want to be, what I am getting though is kind of like, okay, you need to like expand more and more and more, and it's kind of like that expansive peripheral I'm seeing is kind of like is then able to like pick up, you know, like a sonar. It's like the wider that the sonar like scanner is or whatever, then the more it's able to pick up and you'll be able to see opportunities, okay? So there's a lot of things out there. It's kind of like this whole new world, peel back the curtain, is kind of like coming up in your periphery, or like it's being, you know, you've either kind of like experienced it or you kind of like went out with a group of people or seen how kind of like a specific new world is, and that there's kind of like, oh my god, this is a side of life that I didn't even like know existed. People are living like this, different industry, whatever it is. Or maybe you've just been to a country and it's like really inspired you, and it's like, okay, keep riding on that energy, okay? Keep riding on that energy, keep very kind of like in frequency with that. What are the things that we can do to kind of like get us back there, or kind of like incorporate in more of that in your life until it kind of becomes one. But yes, that's so exciting. The change is coming anyway. It's very much just like kind of giving you a little nudge just to be like, yeah, keep expanding, keep kind of keep developing, don't get stuck in your comfort zone, okay? Now's a really good time to just like be weird and get weirder and get even weirder. A lot of look around contracts, be very like wise in terms of that. When I say wise, be abundant minded, okay? Expect that you will have a lot of options, and then you will have a lot of options. But yes, perfect. A lot of look overseas. Yes, there's money here. Money, support down a new avenue as well. But yes, overall, you've got very solid energy. The only thing that you need to do is get out of your comfort zone, okay? Exciting, but it's all coming anyway. But still, yeah, cool. Get out of your comfort zone so that you can see the opportunities, okay? Because you do have a part to play in this as well, and the speed with which it happens. Fab.